Okay, so, Blakesy, about how old were you when you first realized that there was something wrong with your spine?
I think I should have noticed it sooner, but in ninth grade, right before shower, like, looking in the mirror at my back, it looked weird. Although I didn't really think anything of it, really. I just, thought it was just a little bump. I'm like, it's not a big deal. I don't feel any pain. It's just a weird deformity for some reason and stuff. So I just ignored it. And then a few months later, I went to Katrina's place and I showed it to her and her mother. And I think before that happened, actually, I was here and I was leaning over the bed to pet Jules. And Mom was like, hey, what's wrong with your back? And then it sort of got me worried. So then I went there and I showed it to them. And then I looked up bumps on back thing on the internet. And I found scapular winging. And I started crying. And I called Mom and I'm like, Mom, I think I have scapular winging. And I was so sad and stuff. But then I'm like, but there's a bunch of videos saying that I can fix it with some exercises. So I guess it'll be okay.
And I remember that. I was like, oh my god, is she crying again because she thinks Jules is going to die while she's gone? Oh my god, Becca, grow up.
Because her mother and they were both really worried for me. So I slept on my back really straight so that there wasn't a bump, or hardly a bump. And that really hurts, though. So, then I got back home, and Mom made a doctor's appointment, said that I had to go for x-rays to see if it was scapular winging. He was just, like, making notes, and he's like, okay, go for some x-rays, back, side, right, whatever, checklist. So we went to the CLSC a few days later or something. Or maybe it was the same day, I don't really remember. But, whenever I was going for the x-rays, like, it was my first x-ray ever on my upper body. Like, I'd already had one on my foot. But they're like, okay, now take everything off. And they had an accent, and it's like they didn't know English very well. So he said, take everything off, something, and then bra and stuff. So I'm like, okay, so I get to keep my bra on. So then I went and we took a picture, the x-ray thing, and then he's like, oh, you have to take off the bra. We have to start all over. I'm like, what? Okay. But, I was in a hospital gown over that, though, so. But anyway, it was awkward because, like, he had to touch right here to put on, like, the tape that said, this is the right side and this is the left side, so I'm like.
Was Mom in the room with you?
No, it was the x-ray room. There was only me and the technician.
Yeah, creepy.
Yeah. So then, took the pictures, and that was really awkward, and I hated x-rays, and I was really grumpy the rest of the day because I'm like, CLSC gives me the creeps. So then, a few days later, or maybe a week, I don't know, got us to go back and visit him, and on his desk was a file, and it said, urgent, like that stamp. So then, I was like, oh my god, what's urgent? And he didn't show us anything, he just said, yeah, you have to go to CHEO. Sent these things to Shawville, and they sent this back, and yeah, you have scoliosis and stuff. So,
What? A whole new term out of the blue?
yeah,
like, so
I
casually?
came home and I looked it up, and I looked at the pictures, and I'm like, oh my god, my spine's moved. But he explained it a little bit to me, it's just that the internet really clarified it. So then, we made the appointment like 3 or 4 months later to go to CHEO because, it's really hard to get an appointment on short notice. So we went to CHEO, and it was the wrong day because he wrote down like March 7th, but we thought it was a 2 instead of a 7.
Yeah.
So it was closed on that day. So we just went shopping anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the one and only time I went to your doctor's appointment before the surgery, and it wasn't even the appointment.
Then I went back with Mom and Dad on the 7th, and I got more x-rays, except these weren't as awkward. They weren't awkward at all. Because, like, you just stand, and she, like, touches your hips, though, but I'm really ticklish on my hips and stuff, so I was sort of like, jerking away. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, jeez. I'm so sorry for invading your bubble. I'm like, wow, I wish people at the CLSC were like that. But it was really easy. You just put, like, your arms up on these bars, and they take pictures and stuff. And my head was actually like this whenever I thought it was straight. Like, people were always saying, put your head straight. Like, whenever you take pictures at school, she's like, put your head straight. I'm like, okay. And then she'd have to be like, ugh, and then go and fix my head. Because I didn't know it wasn't straight. And then I saw the x-rays for the first time, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. Scary, but cool. And he was like, yeah, well, it's just a garden variety scoliosis thing. And he gave us like a pamphlet. He was saying that it's really nothing to worry about. It's an easy fix, whatever. I'm not like a special case that has like 70% chance of dying or anything. It's just like, you're gonna be fine. This is gonna be okay, whatever. Garden variety. Okay, 6 months later, we came back to see if it would increase the curve and stuff, and it was 2 degrees of an increase. Like, it was at 58 or something, and then it increased to 60. And anything over 45, you get surgery. 30 to 45, you get a brace, and then anything under that, they don't do anything. Then more waiting, another 6 months, and he checked up on me again. More x-rays. I hate x-rays. Honestly, you have to stand outside the door in the hallway with a bunch of people looking at you, and you're just in a hospital gown and socks and shoes.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
And once I did my hair up in this, like, braids going down with the bun at the end, but that takes a lot of bobby pins, and metal isn't allowed in the x-ray room, so I had to take it out.
Oh my god.
Then, I don't know, a year later or something, he finally started making the plans for...
So a year later, how old are you? What part of your life are you in? Like, what grade?
I was in 11th grade, and he was talking about how we could either have the surgery during school and then have, like, homeschool, like, webcams going to class and stuff for the rest of the year. Or I could do it at the end of the school year and then wait a little while to go to college. I was okay with doing it during high school and just doing my school through the webcam because, like, honestly, that would be so much easier than getting on the bus every day. Although, now, after the surgery, I realized that I would have been too groggy to do my final exams any good. Like, they wouldn't have been good. I would have gotten, like, 20% on everything. Then I had to sign a bunch of papers giving consent. And I'm like, oh, can I back out now? I don't want to do it. I mean, we've been waiting like 2 years.
So this is March when he was talking to you about surgery time?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so, and then there really wasn't much in between then and your actual surgery?
Yeah, I remember I was dreading the June because that was whenever he was going to start talking about it. I remember I'm like, okay, it's January, you don't have to worry until June. And then I'm like, oh, you know, I sort of want to graduate, but I sort of don't, because then I'm getting closer and closer to going to the doctor again, you know? And, like, exams, and doctor, and ickiness, you know? Just going on and on.